All right, welcome to the Dr. Jimbo Love preview show featuring Seth Matthew. I am partnerless today, but no big deal. We are going to feature the University of Denver versus Minnesota Duluth hockey game. They're coming into town and they are going to be doing a series of Friday and Saturday night. Again, we'll refer to University of Denver as DU. For those of you that are not from Denver, it's just like CU. University of Colorado, they call it CU. Last week we had what I think was one of the most incredible hockey games I've seen in person in my entire life. DU beat St. Cloud State University 8-5 after falling behind 3-0 in the first period. Incredible game. There were 50 shots on goal by DU. 50. These kids, these student athletes from Denver, from DU, are absolutely an amazing group of individuals. They're a very young team, and they get the ball, or they get the puck to the net so often that, just like Seth said last week, you know, goalies aren't perfect. The more shots you have on goal, the more chances you have to score. And the other thing, too, that was amazing was just watching how fast these athletes close on the puck. Now, according to our sources, and we were in the press box, it was incredible to listen to the St. Cloud State University, mainly because they are compared, the two teams are very, very similar in comparison, meaning they're both extremely fast skaters. Well, they're not only fast, but they're quick to the puck, both teams. And that first game was incredible. Now, the second game on Saturday night, DU ended up winning 2-0. It was a different kind of game. Denver scored in the first period, and then there wasn't any scoring until about 5 or 6 minutes left in the third period. And again, it came down to a 5-minute major. One of the St. Cloud State University kids just clocked the Denver University, or the DU hockey guy. I shouldn't say hockey guy, but hockey athlete. And it was right underneath the net, up against the boards, and it was kind of a cheap shot, and it cost him a 5-minute major. DU came out, regrouped, and scored a penalty. Well, it was as we call it, a power play goal. Now, if you remember from Friday night, and we talked about this a little bit on Saturday in our recap, 2 goals were scored on a 5-minute major. And that really brought him back from 3-0 to 3-2. And that was Carter Savoy, a sophomore, who is, in my opinion, one of the most fun people to watch on that team. Now, there are a lot of great hockey players on DU's hockey team. Their goalie is up for the Richter Award, Corona, and their entire first line is up for the Hobie Baker Award. Now, there are 77 of them that are eligible yet, but they'll be cutting it down to 15. It'll be interesting to see if any of these guys make it to the final 15. But again, we can't stress enough that DU, not only do they have a young coach, the coach for DU took over on May 25th, which is my birthday, in 2018. And he was the youngest Division I hockey coach. I don't know if it was of all time, but it was currently speaking. He was in his 20s. And this gentleman was the assistant coach for the former coach of DU, and he is just picking up and carrying this program to the next level. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about the DU and Minnesota Duluth. We're going to give a preview. We're going to do it again tomorrow when I have my partner with me. Seth is the resident knowledge person of hockey. I love hockey, but I don't see hockey the same way Seth does. I watch basketball on a different level than a lot of people that do, because my dad was a coach, I was a coach, and I also was a player. And when you're a player of the sport on a certain level, in any level really, you really see things differently. And hockey is something that I only played pond hockey and driveway hockey, but I've been a fan, like a fan that just watches it ever since I was a little kid. I used to go to all the Cornell Big Red hockey games at Lina Rink up in Ithaca. It was about 23 miles from where I grew up. And I watch it kind of like how Seth watches basketball as a fan. You know, he doesn't look at it anymore or any deeper than somebody who's just enjoying it for what it is, the purity of the sport. Last week we also talked a little bit about Becky Hammon. Actually, we talked about her in depth and her new contract that she signed with the Las Vegas Aces. Now, Becky Hammon was a CSU graduate, which is Colorado State graduate. She played in the late 90s. She grew up in Rapid City, South Dakota, and she's not a very, very tall woman. She's under 5'8", but boy can she shoot. And she was a 3-time All-American in the Mountain West Conference for Colorado State. And then she wasn't drafted for the WNBA, but she ended up playing for the New York Liberty team and played for a number of other teams, finishing out her career from 2007 to 2014 with the team she currently is coaching, the Las Vegas Aces. Now, there was a little controversy. Becky Hammon was at the San Antonio Spurs under Greg Popovich, the coach, probably the best NBA active coach that there is right now, as an assistant. Actually, in 2020, she had a chance when Greg Popovich was thrown out of a game to be the actual head coach. That making her the first female NBA head coach in the history of the NBA. So we're very proud of her. Even though she grew up in South Dakota, we consider her one of our own here in Colorado, of course being that she was such a great athlete, great student athlete for Colorado State University. So there was a little controversy. Some of the players that are actually currently playing for her had a problem with the fact that she signed somewhere between a $1.1 and $1.3 million contract. And Seth and I had a counterpoint discussion about whether or not Becky Hammon is worth the money. And I'll be honest with you, she is worth every single penny. And if you want to hear our discussion, please go to YouTube, go to Facebook, go to any of the streaming platforms, and you can see our part 2, okay, of the Dr. Jimbo Love show featuring Seth Matthew last weekend. And Seth and I discuss exactly all the different points, economically speaking, capitalistically speaking, why Becky Hammon deserves every penny that she receives. So anyways, I just wanted to say that we were so excited. We want to thank the University of Denver Athletic Department, mainly Angel Fields and Ron. Both of those people were able to get us in the press box. We had a great experience, and we will be back this weekend, probably not in the press box, only because contractually speaking, we can't talk at all during the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the stands. We're going to be maybe by the student section, but we're going to be where there's a lot of people, and we are going to broadcast live from Magness Arena. So look for us on Friday night. The game starts at 7. On Saturday, the game starts at 6. We haven't decided if we're going to do both games or if we're going to do one game, but we'll let you know tomorrow once I check with Seth's schedule and we figure out exactly what's going to be feasible for us. But count on us for Saturday for sure. You're going to get a chance to see what it's like to sit at Magness Arena in Denver, Colorado, at the University of Denver campus, and you're going to get a chance to see what kind of energy and what kind of magic happens there. Now, they have won, and if my sources are correct, and I may be wrong, but I don't think I am, they have won DU 13 games in a row at home. They are incredibly tough. They are on top of the conference, and this weekend should be a really great experience. Now understand that there's only 3 home games left. There's these 2 this weekend with Minnesota Duluth, and then the Colorado College comes in, I think, early March, which will be a great tune-up before they go into the conference tournament. And then, of course, since they're number 1, I think they're going to qualify, and they should, for the Frozen Four tournament. So we have a lot of college hockey left. Cornell University will give you an update on them tomorrow as well. The general manager, Scott Howard, is giving us a lot of great information. His friend and coworker and Shane is actually, we're going to try to get him on as well. And Shane's a great guy. He's from Western Pennsylvania. He's a big Steeler fan, and he's very intimately involved with Cornell hockey. So we'll get him on too. Maybe, we'll see. I mean, we got to ask him first. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to go down to Colorado College and see if we can speak to their head coach. And he was an assistant for Cornell. He was also a really excellent goalie for Union College. Matter of fact, Cornell is going up to play Union College this weekend, and also RPI, both of which are in the city of Troy, New York, which is very close to Albany. Other than that, we're going to talk again about the Olympics. Again, we're featuring the women. Unfortunately, Michaela Schifrin is having just an absolutely miserable time right now. And I just hope that she's strong enough mentally that this is not going to affect her final 3 races. We know that on Monday she fell on the 5th gate, and then on Wednesday, which was really yesterday over there, she fell in the first 5 seconds of her run, and she just sat there for like 20 minutes. And you know, she's a 26-year-old woman who's in the prime of her career. She'd be the only female athlete from the United States to win 3 gold medals consecutively ever. You remember Lindsey Vonn wasn't able to do it because of some injuries and stuff like that. But you know, my heart goes out to Michaela, and you know, she's a resident, I believe, of Yale, or of Vail, and you know, she's a Colorado person, and she's been on the stage since she was a teenager. So you can just imagine what must be going through her head as she's sitting in the Olympic Village and just contemplating, how in the heck did I catch an edge twice? But unfortunately, you know, back with Dan Hansen, I can't remember which Olympics that was, but he was a speed skater. He had to compete after he found out that his sister was diagnosed with cancer, or maybe she passed from cancer, I'm not exactly sure. He caught an edge, and boom, he was done. And I believe it was the '92 Olympics. And then, if you remember, they changed the Olympics back then, so they weren't being the same time as the Summer Olympics. So there was another Olympics in 1994, and he was able to come back and redeem himself. And, you know, let's hope and pray that the same thing happens with Michaela Schifrin. And if it doesn't, it's okay. She's only 26. She'll be back when she's 30 for the next Olympics, and she may end up competing again in another Olympics. So this is not the end of the world for her. I hope someone's telling her that. I hope that she's talking to her coaches and her family and close people to her and telling her, you know what? You know, sometimes things happen. I mean, catching an edge with a ski, I mean, anybody that's gone up and skied or snowboarded, you know how easy that is to do. So let's wish her the best of luck. And we're going to be talking some more about some other excellent women. I was watching some of the luge last night, The German women just took gold and silver, and it was just wonderful to watch. So again, we feature the women when we're featuring college hockey. So check us out. Like I said, we'll either be at the game on Friday night, but our show will air live from Brothers, which is where I'm at right now. Brothers is at the Shops at Northfield, and there's just wonderful things happening here. We're up in the mezzanine section, and we will be broadcasting live from here from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. every Saturday. So if you can't come up and watch us, I know the seating and the paparazzi and all the autograph seekers have really been hard for us to manage. But we've put some things in place now, and we've got some ropes. But you guys come on down here. Feel free to come up to the mezzanine section. We'll make room for you. And in the meantime, again, remember, please tune into your Olympics and watch our female athletes. We are so proud of them, and we're excited to be featuring them. Also, too, not this weekend, but the following weekend, we will be at the University of Denver, DU, for a gymnastics meet between DU and Air Force. DU is in the top 5 in the nation in gymnastics. Again, we'll be broadcasting from the actual stands. We may be in the press box. We'll have to ask Angel Fields if it's okay and find out what the stipulations are, so we're not doing anything that's contractually allowed with the University of Denver. But she's asked me to come down, and Seth will come if he can, but we'll get a chance to cover some really, really great athletes right here locally in Denver, and I'm excited to do that. So remember, it's the Dr. Jimbo Love Show featuring Seth Matthew, live from Brothers Bar and Grill at the Shops of Northfield every Saturday from 11 to 1. And then you'll see us doing a lot of other things that are live venues. We're going to go down to the Air Force. We're going to watch some basketball down there. We're going to go to Colorado College in Colorado Springs, watch some hockey down there. And especially when Colorado College comes to DU in early March, we will be there featuring that game as well. We're just happy to be here. We'd love for your comments, your views. The easiest way to find us is on YouTube right now. And you can just go in and put in Dr. Jimbo Love Show. You can put in the featuring Seth Matthew if you want, but it should come up. And we have over 30 shows. So feel free to look at some of our older ones and, make a comment. Tell us what you think. If you get down here, 10:30 or so, the doors don't open, but we form a line that goes really around the building for the people that come up to the mezzanine section and watch our live broadcast. So we'll let them in. Maybe we'll be able to get them in the background so you can see them all. Again, we're not charging for autographs, and basically you come in and we give you a special discount. Sometimes it just depends on what's going on, but come on into Brothers Bar and Grill in the Shops of Northfield. If you don't know where that is and you're here in Denver, just take I-70 West. The Harkin Theaters and Outdoor World is right there on the right-hand side. You can get off at Central Park or get off at Quebec and come back and find us. And come on in, but get there early. Space is limited. And like I said, we're not charging any longer for any of the pictures and selfies that all of you guys want to take. We've got some security, so we're not going to have any problems getting everybody into the place. But you really should come down and check it out because it's starting to become a really great Saturday event. All right. Thank you very much. Remember, it's the Dr. Jimbo Love Show featuring Seth Matthew. Look at us. Find us. Just type us into Google and we will come up. And we'd welcome you. We'd like to welcome you to our audience. In the meantime, have a great week. It's Wednesday, and get out there and just enjoy the rest of your week. And just like they say in Saving Private Ryan, get What did he say, Tom Hanks, in Saving Private Ryan? He told Private Ryan to get out there and earn it. We'll see you soon.